Welcome to World War G. I'm Troy.
Guys, I want you to meet a really good friend of mine. This is Troy.
I'm AJ.
AJ? What kind of name is AJ? Oh, you race cars?
Okay, let's get right into how does it taste?
Yes.
How does that taste? How does that taste? How does it taste?
I do have to say, I first scoured the
You've been
grocery stores.
kind of busy this morning.
Yeah, I went to Smith's, went to Maverick, went to Walmart, went to... There's one other place, I don't know. I was all over the place.
Target?
Target, yes, yeah. Target, as the fancy people say. Looking for those chips, those Lay's chips. They've got the Cool Ranch, Funyuns, and what's the other one? Cheetos, I believe.
It was Cool Ranch, Cheetos, and...
I want to say the Funyuns. Because it was kind of a...
I don't think it was Funyuns.
Was
it Funyuns? Hang on.
When Troy's not sure, like, his voice goes a little bit higher. Reminds me of Family Guy with Stewie Griffin. Huh? Oh, Brian, gonna write a book? Gonna write a book?
Okay, no, they're Cheetos flavor.
Yeah.
Doritos Cool Ranch flavor. And, no, you're right, Funyuns. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
That seems like a peculiar combination, but I think it could work.
I doubted you. I'm sorry. I didn't think it was Funyuns.
No worries.
Oh, hey, breaking news. This is 4 minutes ago. Legendary actor Ed Asner passes away at 91.
Really?
Hmm?
This is like a little mini happy birthday death day kind of a deal.
This literally just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you know Ed Asner from... A lot of people know he was the old man in Up.
Yes.
He did a lot of voice work. He was on Mary Tyler Moore Show. I mean, he was everywhere. He was a legend. As it says here, he was a legendary actor.
Does it say his age or what causes?
Well, he was 91. Legendary actor and activist Ed Asner has passed away. Asner, 91, passed away Sunday morning and is said to have been surrounded by family. Asner is best known for portraying the character of Lou Grant in the Mary Tyler Moore Show. The character was so popular that it received a spin-off series called Lou Grant. His portrayal of Grant earned him 5 Emmy wins.
Damn.
And he received 2 other Emmy wins during his career for the miniseries Rich Man, Poor Man, and Roots, making him the most awarded male performer in the history of the awards show. More recently, Asner voiced Carl Fredricksen in Pixar's Up. He played Santa Claus in Elf and appeared in Cobra Kai. So there you go.
Dang. Cobra Kai, like, is pretty recent, so he would have been, like, in his late 80s doing that. Wow.
So R.I.P. Ed Asner. This is what we do. We break the news.
Yeah. Let's toast to him.
Let's do that with... So, just get back to what you were saying. You couldn't find the chips.
No.
So I sent you a text like, hey, okay, how about this? Instead of doing that, if you can't find those, let's do this Apple Crisp Macchiato from Starbucks.
Right.
This brand new thing just came out for the fall season.
And I gotta say, it reminds me of those suckers, the ones that come around like Halloween time that are caramel and apple.
Apple, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm smelling.
All right, give it a try.
All right.
It's not bad. It's not horrible.
It's got a little bit more of an apple taste to it than I was thinking. Oh, it's almost like a pumpkin latte, but it's got a little bit more of an apple caramel taste to it. And it could be just like the cup of caramel that they have at the bottom of it.
Right, yeah. That we tried to
mix in a little bit.
But it will not mix.
No.
I don't know why this reminds me, but it reminds me of old people.
Yeah.
Is that weird?
No. It tastes like old people.
It tastes like old people.
Yeah.
Old people.
Like, because you imagine that they're just full of those butterscotch candies or like random candies.
Caramel candy and stuff. Yeah, the taste is like that old person smell. Weird.
Tastes like Ed Asner.
That you, Grandma? Okay, that's not bad.
No, not at all.
I think last year we tried the pumpkin spice latte.
Yes.
I think that one's a little better.
Mm-hmm.
But
is it because it's a little sweeter?
That could be, and it has more flavors going on.
Right.
But I've recently converted to iced coffee.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What made the transition?
I was tired of burning myself every time I wanted to drink it.
Mm-hmm. Especially in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've gone to iced coffee, and so that gives me a little, or gives this a little heads above.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but I think I'd probably still, if I had to choose, probably still do the pumpkin spice.
And out of 5 elderly people,
'cause I'm a basic bitch. Out of 5 elderly people, I'd give this. I mean,
2.5.
I was gonna say 3.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you get what you pay for. It's apple, caramel. There you go.
Yeah. Coffee, all in one.
It tastes like you walked into a canyon with the leaves changing and just took a big old sniff.
I'm so ready for fall.
Speaking of which, speaking of Pokemon Go, actually,
yes,
which we're going to talk about later, I did a little drive the other day, which I tend to do. And have you ever gone? So you go into Ogden Canyon, right?
Right.
And this will be really interesting to people that are not in Utah. So you go into Ogden Canyon, and you keep going, and you get to that little there's a little like campground.
Right, off to your left.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like it's after the dam,
and then you can go to the right, which is over Trapper's Loop. Is that what it was?
That's where I went.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You ever been up that way?
Oh, dude, I biked over that.
It's a beautiful area.
Oh, absolutely. There's like all these there's like all these like beehives that are set up down below.
I saw that.
Yeah. And then that's how you get to 3 different ski resorts up at the top.
I went and drove around Snow Basin.
I once went stargazing with a girl up there.
That'd be really nice. I gotta remember that.
Dude, like it was like lights out, and we were just kind of sitting there. I think we'd gotten some hot chocolates, because you know how you go down the other side and there's that gas station. Yeah, we'd gotten some hot chocolates from there, and then drove up to the top, no lights, and we were just kind of like watching the stars, and yeah, it's pretty fun.
Did you get a hand job?
More than that, but
nice.
Yeah.
I figure most of your stories is gonna end with like a hand job or a blow job or something.
Yeah, right.
Right.
At least 50% of them. You know, you have a 50-50 shot of something like that.
But look, that's just AJ. You can't stop AJ.
Exactly.
Can't hold him back. Don't hate the player, hate the game. All right.
I do have to quickly tell you one other random story. So, on my jog the other day, I was running around and I went up to like Washington Boulevard, and like I do this loop that's about 5K. It's just a little bit over 5K. And I was going up to the top, and I got to Washington Boulevard and running across, and all of a sudden, in the middle of the road, I saw this like metal object. I'm like, what the hell is it? And ran up closer to it, and it was like people were swerving around it, and there was nobody at the time, so I'm like, it's in the first lane, I can just like walk over and grab it and pull it out of the way. It was a fucking crowbar.
Really?
Yeah, just like I don't know if it popped out of the back of like somebody's vehicle, and so I picked it up, and then like, free crowbar. Right. Nice. But then like I was like running along with it, I'm like, damn, there's some weight to this. Those suckers weigh like 25 pounds. 20. I'm like, how the hell, like, because then I started thinking, man, this is the nerdy part of me. I'm just like, how did the Joker and like the Goon just like swing these around like they're nothing, right? Because it wouldn't be so bad. And I was thinking about it, I'm like, it wouldn't be so bad if you held out your arm the full length and then swung it, and it's like an extension of your arm. That's not so bad, but it's like turning it in your wrist and stuff to hit somebody. I'm that's
how Joker killed Robin.
Right?
He took a big swing.
Oh yeah. When he's just like, do you prefer my forehand or my backhand?
Yeah.
Like beat the shit out of him before he turned into the Red Hood.
Yeah.
But then I brought it back to my place and I was thinking about it and I'm like, did I just pick up is that called evidence? Did I just pick up a murder weapon? Yeah, I didn't see any like blood on it, so I think I'm in the clear. But
I'm sure it just popped out.
But it was also something. I was also when I was running through the neighborhood, I got a lot of weird looks.
Because you're running with a crowbar.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And there was one dude, like, at this point, I'd kind of, like, slow down and was just walking, and he was walking with his kids to school, and he, like, looks at me, and I'm just like, pulled it out of the road, so, like, he's like, free crowbar. He was cool about it, but, like, he kept, like, looking at me, like, because I was behind him, and then his kids were there, and they were about to, like, cross. Yeah, and he kept, like, he looked back, like, 3 times, so I, like, figured I'd, like, break the ice.
So you give him crazy eyes.
The old crazy eye.
I got no chill, bro.
Just start staring him down. And he's like, damn, somebody's ex fucked up. Like, yeah, there's a car's about to be broken or somebody's face. But yeah, that was my random nerdy adventure.
All right. You ever? I know we're going off a lot of tangents here, but whatever.
Yeah.
When you're driving. And you know where you're driving.
Yeah.
And you're going down the road and you see like a big like garbage bag or something. You ever think, I wonder if that's a body?
All the time.
Yeah.
I constantly think about that. Especially if I'm in like more remote areas and I see a bag, I'm like, that's probably a body.
Yeah.
And then I start thinking, wow, this is like one of those episodes of like CSI or Bones or something, right? Where it's just like the random hiker stumbles across the body or...
And you never want to be the first person to find a body.
No. It's not so bad if somebody else screams and sees it and then you kind of like, make your way over and look at it.
You're not the first person. You're the first person.
Yeah.
You're who the police are looking at.
Exactly.
Which is why I've told... my mom and niece who live upstairs, I'm like, do me a favor. If you guys get murdered, please do it when I'm at work.
Right.
Because there is evidence, there's cameras
You want an alibi.
That shows I was there.
Right.
Because if they get murdered and I'm here and I survive, guess who the police are looking at?
Yeah.
They're looking at the only man who lives in the house who is somehow unharmed. Yeah.
Nobody thinks to check it, like, in this area or whatever. So
Then they tell me, you didn't hear anything? Like, no.
I was sleeping. I was tired. I was watching YouTube videos.
Then they say, I thought you worked. Don't you work all night? Shouldn't you have been up and awake?
Yeah.
Technically. Like, look, I hear noises upstairs all the time. I don't go check.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
I'll provide a good alibi for you, Troy.
Thank you.
Like, he was with me the whole time. That's like when you call up, so you're with your girlfriend, and she calls me and she's like, "Hey, have you seen Troy?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's here with me." Sorry, he doesn't have his phone with him, but like, I'll fucking got your back.
That's it. See, that's a good friend right there.
Yeah.
Help you hide a body or help you cheat on your girlfriend.
It's either one or the other. No.
Exactly. Not that I ever would. Never cheat on a GF.
No. Speaking of the GF.
Yes. So we're going to introduce a new segment. I'm hoping it doesn't happen often.
Right.
But we got a couple critiques,
but also like constructive criticism. Yeah. And we always constantly say, after each episode, I say like day or night, email us.
Email us anytime.
Yeah.
Well, a couple people took us up on that offer, and this is a new segment we're calling "You Guys Suck."
You guys suck.
So, what do you want to do first? Do you want to do John's criticism for the both of us? This really is for the both of us, or do you want to do the GF's?
Let's save John's. Let's save John's.
All right. So you want to do the GF's criticism of you first?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the GF, I will say, was worried when she sent this. She's like, I don't want him to not like me. But there's just a couple things that she noticed.
Yeah.
Here we go. Like I said, there's an email she sent to us. You can email us anytime.
Day or night. Yeah, I'm going to say that for the rest of my life when somebody says, like, hey, you going to email me? And yeah.
She says, oops, I got called out on the show for not emailing. I said I would, so here it is. Haha. Speaking of that, then in parentheses, what? How is that relevant to this? AJ, your kink is 100% not kink. Now, if you don't know what she's talking about, on Patreon, on one of our DLCs, we were talking about sex.
Yes.
And we were talking about kinks. I'm not getting into it. You have to go listen to that for yourself. She continues, step it up, my man. There's a whole world of kink out there to explore. So there's that. And speaking of kink, parentheses, does this have anything to do with kink, question mark? She might have emailed this when she was a bit tipsy.
Yeah.
The Orient is not a place, therefore you cannot be Oriental. Asia is a place, yes, or you can just not mention race unless it matters to the story.
Is it applicable? So this is what, okay. So Orient, you can say that's an Oriental rug, right? Or an Oriental whatever, right? I did ask one of, like, right after I went to my place, and I was like, dude, I gotta, like, message you, because I asked my buddy Phil, who lives in Minnesota, who I met, like, gaming. He is 100% like Asian. Both of his parents like came over. Yep. They're immigrants, and I was asking him, and because Orient does mean, and like I get it, and I'm not gonna use it like moving forward, you know. But,
which is good.
Yeah. But Orient means the East, right? So I was thinking it's all encompassing, you know. Asia, like that direction over there. And he says that like he doesn't get offended if anybody says like that, and he also works for a company he's in the HR department, so he has to do all the firing and hiring of people. So he's just like, no, like, you know, I don't find it like offensive or anything. It does seem a little bit outdated, but not like not offensive.
Okay.
But yeah, I was like, fuck, like, you know, I want to be like saying this, so yeah. Probably won't use that word anymore. Thanks, Ashley. But
well, there you go. Hey, and you ask somebody, and you know, let you know, like, well, it's not, you know, it's not racist, but
right,
it's a little outdated.
Okay, because there are a lot of more kinks out there, and I really do want to do that other segment where we talk about, well, have you done this? Have you done this? Like choking or this or that? And I'd be like, yes, no, whatever. Because like we even talked about it. Was it on our DLC or was it just off the air?
I think it was off the air.
We kind of talked about that, and like you broke down quite a bit, and you're like, all right, I'm learning a little bit more about AJ. So
we should do that sometime. We should get like a list of kinks and just kind of run them down and be like, yes, no, sometimes, maybe. If I'm drunk enough. And then just to wrap up the email, she says, I love you guys. One of you just a tad more than the other.
Oh, what the hell? Yeah. Wait, she's talking about me, huh?
I think so.
Yeah. Thanks.
Keep making
I love you too.
Keep making podcasts. They are entertaining to me.
Yeah.
That's why I think she was a little tipsy, because that's how she ended it. Keep making podcasts. They are entertaining to me. Did you? Yeah. You guys are very entertaining. Keep doing what you do.
No, her. Okay, so because typically, you know, you've been called out randomly on the internet, and you'll fight back with people and get all upset.
Oh yeah.
Her opinion, because she is a Patreon, means a little bit more, and also that she's your GF.
Sure.
You know, so there's a little more validity / weight to it, but at the same time, like, yeah. I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, oh, I am who I am. Not like I'm willing to change or to, you know, adapt and stuff. But, yeah, I appreciate that.
No, I think it's cool that you went and actually asked an Asian person, like, hey, is this okay, yes or no? And
right. Oh, he broke it down, dude. Like, yeah, he was talking to me for like an hour or so when we started talking about that, and then going off on all of these other deep solid. Like, I feel like to me now, video games, whenever I'm playing multiplayer games, it's background noise. I could care less. Like, I'm just having conversation with friends and hanging out with them. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, look, you know how many times my niece and I have to sit down with my mom and say, you can't say things like this anymore.
Yeah. Oh, I have to do that with my dad all the time.
Because she was born in 1950.
Right.
And so she grew up thinking, you know, that a lot of these terms are okay. And she just says because that's how she was brought up.
Right.
Now I gotta say no. And she's always like checking with us. Like, can I say this? Can I say this?
Yeah. The one that my dad hasn't quite fully embraced just yet, if I'm like calling him out here, is just the pronouns and what they want to be like, what people want to be called as. Right. And like I'm still figuring that out myself as well. Like, no, I mean, well, just like when I'm unsure, you know, don't want to like assume somebody's like gender.
Sure.
But yeah,
and that's all it is. I mean, again, just like you with your friend. I mean, if you don't know, ask.
Right.
Or just don't say anything.
Right.
You know, don't.
Is that like Thumper's advice? If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all.
And yeah, the pronoun thing can be tricky.
Right.
I fully understand that. But you know, it's just about what people prefer. It's like what they want to be called, and you gotta respect that. But it can get a little murky there sometimes.
Right. And I feel like it goes both ways to where they like, you know, they
them, they.
Yeah. And I've seen a lot of these posts like online where people will be like, hey, you know, I'm now going by this name, kind of a deal. And I've got a couple of like really close friends that are like, she's taking what is it, steroids and whatnot, and making the transition.
Testosterone.
Yeah. And it takes a little bit, and she was like understanding where it's just like, hey, you know, I understand that it's like it's going to be like this, but if you can't respect that, then at the same time, like, you know, like get off my page,
right.
You know.
Right.
So it is kind of like a two-way learning street. I'm just not a big fan when somebody's just like automatically like calls you out on it, and it's just like, oh, if you can do it in a loving way, you know, I'm more apt to. Yeah.
Okay.
John.
Yes.
A fellow podcaster.
Yeah. Our buddy John Irons.
Yes.
Who is a host of a Captain Game Show.
Which we both been on.
We've been on.
You've been on a couple of times.
I've been on several times.
Yeah.
So go check out Captain Game Show. It's one of the more creative podcasts out there, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And
he puts a lot of time and effort.
I was going to say he puts a lot of work into it.
Yes.
Like, it's impressive. So yeah, this is what he says. He says, "Hey, a few weeks ago, you asked for feedback on the show. Here's my constructive criticism. I think WWG would benefit from having guests, or at least a third host, if not both. You and AJ tend to agree on everything except conspiracy theories."
And Ryan Reynolds. Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool. "And I think you need more, not conflict per se, but different perspectives, I guess.
Right.
It's like if Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon just talk to each other the whole time. Yeah, they're great, but it's better when they have someone else to play off of. Just my 2 cents. Take it for what it's worth." So what do you think about that?
I think it's right. A lot of the times we do have a tendency of agreeing because, I don't know, 2 peas of a pod. Like, we agree on certain stuff for the most part. And it is also nice to like play off somebody else a little bit. Yeah, I'm totally for it. Even if John wants to be on the podcast.
Sure. Now, here's my thing about the third host, and why I don't think we're going to go in that direction. We've had several third hosts before.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
We've had Colton, which he probably stayed the longest. He was on for months.
Oh, yeah.
We've had Adam. We've had
Lucas.
Yeah, we had Lucas.
Yeah.
There's even a girl that you knew that we had on once or twice.
Right.
But the thing is, when we bring another host on, I don't know
There's something about the dynamic.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
It kind of throws off the flow, I guess you could say, because you and I know each other really well at this point.
Yeah.
And so we kind of know how each other's going to react, how we're going to, I know when I can, if you're saying something when I can interject, I know that, you're not going to think it's like rude or anything.
No.
Or,
Yeah.
That was somebody else. It just kind of, I don't know, that dynamic just...
I think
it's different.
It is. And I feel like it would work better if we had somebody on that we were like interviewing or talking to and playing off that way. Like when a radio program calls up a random listener or talks to a random listener, they can kind of like interject and throw in their 2 cents on the thing. I do, however, to get that extra little... I don't know what it would be called, but we could potentially look for more, not controversial, but more stories that we're going to have an opinion on. That's going to be like pro or con kind of a deal. Look for those ones that are like more Star Wars, Star Trek, and it's just like these definitive things where it's just like, no, we're going to have like differing opinions.
Yeah. And that's... And he's right. It's good to have that conflict there, and like I said, not conflict, just like you said, the different opinions. But then
sorry, go ahead.
I think it makes for almost a more entertaining podcast. I think that's a lot of where the humor would come from, is with you and I disagreeing on a lot more stuff.
The one other problem that we run into is we don't want to become like the Geek Show podcast where there's like too many people on there.
Yeah.
Because then it makes it so damn hard to tell who's actually talking.
It does.
And they're talking over each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
And doesn't help that they're drunk.
No.
Yeah, I tuned into that again the other day.
Just to check it out?
Just check it out. See if anything's changed.
No?
Nothing's changed. And that's why I always want to like grow and evolve our podcast.
Right.
Because
so that it doesn't become like stagnant.
Yeah. It becomes stale. All right. I think that's good. I think we can wrap up that segment. You guys suck.
Obviously said tongue in cheek.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's get into This Week in Geek.
This Week in
Geek.
So, Lil Nas calls out fans and criticizes Tony Hawk for blood boards. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Recently, Tony Hawk is releasing this limited edition run of blood boards that are going to be going for $500 a pop.
Heard about this.
Yeah, he took some of his blood, poured it into the paint, they mixed it up, put it on these boards, and they're selling like hotcakes, and it doesn't seem there's much fan outcry or much like people criticizing him, where Lil Nas, he dropped a while back. Now, if for those that don't know, he had that really popular song. What's the
I don't remember what the song was called.
To the hotel room, the cowboy gonna ride to
Old Town Road.
Old Town Road.
Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah. After that had such success, he decided to create these line of shoes that had his own blood in the paint, and everybody was like all criticizing him. He had this. Let's see. He had this to say. He tweeted out. This was just a couple of days ago. Now that Tony Hawk has released a skateboard with his blood painted on them, and there's no public outcry, all y'all really have to admit y'all were never actually upset over the blood in the shoes, and maybe you were mad for some other reason, ? It got 424,000 retweets or hearts, and then quite a few other like comments, like almost like 8,000 comments on the matter.
I mean, he's not wrong.
No,
he's not wrong at all. I guess let's see. Infused own blood into unofficial Nike Air Max 97s. Yeah, I remember that.
They were going for $1,018.
Mm-hmm. And there were 666 pairs made.
Yeah.
The reason I think, and I'd hate to say this, but the reason that people are in such an outcry, 1, he's black. 2, he's gay. And 3, it had to do a lot with Satan imagery.
It did.
Now, conservative Christians, those are 3 things that they're not really fans of.
Yeah.
And so that's where the outcry came from. And he's absolutely right.
Right.
He completely called out people, and he's completely right.
Mm-hmm.
No one has said anything about Tony Hawk putting blood into his skateboards. I haven't heard anything about it.
No, it's the internet's been pretty quiet about it.
Kiss once did that. The band Kiss did that once with comic books.
I'm not a huge fan of, like, blood. It kind of, like, grosses me out a little bit when I'll go, like, donate plasma or blood and go give blood.
Really?
And, well, no, it's more so with other people's blood, where everybody else, like, I can't really, like, look at their veins and watch all this blood being swirled around. No, it doesn't make me, like, queasy at all. Like, and I'm perfectly fine getting, like, a shot or a needle or whatever. I could never do that whole, like, where it's just, like, a necklace of blood, like somebody else's blood wearing it, or, ugh, no.
I could.
Really? Yeah?
I could wear the GF's blood around my neck. But yeah, it's funny, because there are some bodily functions that I do...
fluids?
Yeah. Shy away from, but others I don't mind.
Right.
Like, I have an issue with poop.
Mm-hmm. No?
No.
I'm pretty damn sure that you could actually rob a bank with a stick of poop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Just walk into a bank, and you've got a piece of poop on a stick that you could rob a bank with.
Yeah. You probably could.
Nobody wants to touch that shit.
Just warn people, I'm going to touch you with this if you don't give me that money.
Right.
I'm putting this right in your face. It'd be much more effective than a gun.
Yeah.
So yeah, poop I have an issue with. I don't really have an issue with anything else. Snot, boogers.
Ugh.
That's not great.
No. Yeah.
Not
even blood?
No, I don't have an issue with blood.
So if somebody, like, cuts their finger, you'd be like...
I see that all the time at work.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because we're always, cutting open boxes and stuff.
There's one coworker that he constantly got bloody noses all the time, and the trash can was just full of blood, and that was kind of a little... Like, because he would also, like, hawk loogies that have blood in it. And then,
that's
like,
a little much.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Vomit?
No.
No.
I cleaned up vomit a lot. I worked at movie theaters.
There was actually a lot of vomit?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of... You don't realize how many people are throwing up at a movie theater. It happened at least once a week.
What? Did it depend on the movie? Was it, like, more scary movies?
No. It was just, I think...
There was no rhyme or reason?
I think it's just maybe something people ate, or... I don't know.
The stale popcorn? If they had a popcorn bucket, why wouldn't they throw up in that?
It was probably full at the time.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but a lot of times they don't make it in the bathroom.
The funniest story that you told me about bodily functions at a movie theater was somebody took a dump.
Yeah.
Just in the middle of the floor. I'm like,
took a big old adult shit right in the aisle.
I can't believe it. That is so damn weird to me. Like,
in the middle of the film, mind you.
Yeah.
Somebody walks down, pulls down their pants,
pinches off a big ass loaf,
and just takes a massive shit right in the aisle. And one of the employees had to clean that up. It wasn't me, thank God. Yeah. It was one of my days off.
Right.
But I heard about it after. Like, well, how? What? At that point, just take it in the pants.
Right. Right.
If that's going to happen.
Like, if you can't pinch your cheeks long enough to get to the bathroom, which they have a lot of bathrooms around there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I would say every 50, 100 yards, there's a bathroom.
It's easy to make it to a bathroom.
Right. Yeah. They don't make it that complicated.
Yeah, but at that point, just take it in the shorts. You know what I'm saying? Just...
Have you ever taken one in the shorts?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I came pretty close when I was up hiking. I was with my cousin. I'm like, dude, go up ahead. Like, go. Because he just got back from the military, and we were, like, hiking over it was Thurston's Peak, which you start in Layton, and we made it all the way over to Peterson.
Mhm.
So it was a long. He's like, oh, yeah, it's only, like, 5 clicks away, because he was all into the military. And he's like, oh,
All
yeah,
right,
5 more
calm
clicks
down
over
there.
to here.
Calm down there, Rambo.
Right? Yeah. Avi, he's pretty damn funny though. But I was just like, dude, go ahead. I got to use the bathroom, so I just leaned up against a tree and just kind of went right then and there. But never taken one in the shorts. I don't think. Almost like
I have.
swimming. No, I might have once, not in the shorts, but like pinched off a loaf when I was in the river.
Really?
Before. Yeah, that was.
Well, I can see advantages to that because it just washes away. Plus, it washes you.
Right. It's like a giant bidet.
Yeah. A giant nature bidet.
Oh,
The river really is just nature's bidet.
It
so
is.
it's fine.
Just around the river bend.
There's shit just around the river bend.
That always like made me laugh whenever I would see people like, because I'd gotten Giardia before. Whenever they'd like drink water, I'm like, all these animals are like shit. And one time they're like, oh, this is a delicious stream. Yeah, I'm just gonna like drink some water. I'm like, I probably wouldn't do that. Like, not 50 yards further, there was a dead animal that was laying. The carcass was laying in the water. I'm like, see, see, yeah,
yeah. You don't want to get dysentery or something from.
no. But I think Lil Nas is.
Oh, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does bring up a valid point to a lot of people,
and it's ridiculous that he's had to go through that. But
yeah,
like I said, he had those 3 things working against him.
Would there be any celebrities that you would want their blood, like not in a little capsule, but like in some sort of merchandise or swag? Or
I want Anna Kendrick's blood.
The GF called you out not too long ago when we were talking about like celebrities, celebrities that would be like super depressed if they died, and we didn't even bring her up.
Yeah.
She's our patron saint.
I know.
Yeah.
She's one of them, and Jeff was like, "You'd be upset if Anna Kendrick died." I'm like, "Oh yeah,
I totally would be."
And I was for a second. I'm like,
"Wait, she did?"
That kind of hurt me. I'm like, "Oh my god." That'd be terrible.
There goes my chances. She's my hall pass.
Yeah.
The GF might join you, but like you definitely get a free hall pass with Anna Kendrick. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'd have to confirm, but I'm sure I'd be all right. Let's move on.
Yes.
Walt Disney. See, what other show is gonna transition from having Anna Kendrick's blood to Walt Disney?
None.
So here's something that's a little crazy. Walt Disney Imagineering is developing walking animatronics. So in the New York Times, there's a quote that said, who was it that said this? I don't know. It said, Disney wants the robots in its parks to come alive. One goal, setting them free from the confines of the rides and letting them wander walkways to turn parks into, as one executive put it, inhabited places.
What in the hell?
They want these animatronics walking and talking around the park.
Yeah.
That creeps me the fuck out. I don't like that.
Did you see that recent video where they were just talking about these soldiers, that they're training these robot soldiers to handle tactical situations? Yeah, this dude, like, he started, like, when rioters start hitting this robot, it's been trained to, like, jump back, shoot at the ground, and then get the hostage or get the person out. Like, it's ridiculous what they're doing with robots these days.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I blame Elon Musk and Walt Disney. Too. Yeah.
And Jeff Bezos. Why not? Throw him in there too.
They can only have one Mickey throughout the park, right? So would he also be able to interact with people?
I don't know if it's going to be Mickey exactly.
Or if it's just going to be random robots marching
I think it's going to be like...
patrolling
Let me see.
the park.
So Imagineering has already shown off their prototype Baby Groot in a series of videos. But the walking animatronic is just the tip of the iceberg of what's coming. According to the article, Disney's newest robotics initiative, codenamed Project Kiwi, is about, quote, extreme Marvel and Star Wars characters, huge ones like the Incredible Hulk, and tiny ones like Baby Yoda. So they're going for the Marvel and Star Wars characters to be
stormtroopers walking around the park. Oh damn!
They're gonna make a life-size Hulk that's walking and talking. No.
Oh, it just said Project Kiwi here.
That is going to crush someone. It's the Baby Groot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No, not one bit.
No, don't like it. That thing is going to gain sentience.
Yes.
And it's going to end up murdering a child. It's going to
no,
see a child.
It's one of the 3 laws. They wouldn't do it.
They're not putting the 3 laws into it.
No?
No.
That's only in the movies. That's not real.
Can you imagine, though, a giant 6-7 foot Hulk just walking around the park?
No. That'd be awesome, though.
Scares the crap out of me.
What about dinosaurs?
That'd be even more terrifying. Turn the corner, there's a dinosaur walking at you.
You're like, they found a way.
Talk about taking one in the shorts.
Yeah.
No, I don't like. I know this is probably just the next evolution to these animatronics. It had to happen sooner or later. But this is
the next step. I don't know if I'm ready for it. I want flying cars before I want these.
I don't even trust. I was just in Smith's the other day. Kroger for anybody else out there.
Yeah.
Or Ralph's if you're in California. All the same company. And they had those. They had a
cleaning robot.
Yeah, cleaning robot.
Yeah,
it was going up and down the aisles. It was unmanned. I'm like, this freaks me out. Like, this is really weird.
I saw one of those at Walmart, and Walmart in California as well. You know. Yeah, it was also like checking, and there's these kids that were like looking at these movies, and it stopped cleaning. And like kind of turned its head a little bit and was like looking at them, like
spying on them.
Yeah,
making sure they aren't stealing anything.
Mm-hmm. Halt, police!
Like
the authorities have been notified.
Yeah, I don't. I don't.
This might ease
I don't
us.
Trust it.
Okay, but this might ease people into the idea of robots, right?
True.
If it's going to come from anywhere, like it feels a little safer that it's coming from like Disney.
I don't think how Disney's gonna get you.
Yeah, right. Lull you into thinking everything's okay, and then they just take over the world because they made a fucking robot army.
I'm
Their
saying.
stormtroopers are living below California Adventure.
It's like Star Wars Episode 2.
Yes.
Attack of the Clones.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be Attack of the Groots.
Ooh. Yeah. No. Yeah. How many baby Groots do you think you could take out? Like, I'm talking these robot baby Groots, not like actual baby Groot, because, yeah. He's got them tentacles.
I don't know, I could probably handle a plethora of Groots.
Is it a murder of Groots?
Could be. Could be a murder of Groots. It's definitely not a pack.
No, a pack of Groots.
Yeah. It's probably a murder of Groots.
Yeah. So
I have a lot of options for a title to this episode.
So, whether you like it or not, Logan Paul has definitely gained some traction as a boxer. I wouldn't say a legit boxer because he fought that UFC dude who totally took a dive. And then he also fought Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
And that was an exhibition. That wasn't really a full-on fight.
Right.
But Logan Paul did get $10 million for that fight. Okay, get this. So Floyd Mayweather, guess how much he made on that fight?
50.
$100 fucking million. Just for like a couple of rounds. Yeah. So he's back at it again, and he's got a fight coming up. I think it's actually today. But he's also been calling out Mike Tyson for quite some time, and I think it's just that whole squeaky wheel gets the oil kind of a thing, right? If you keep yelling at them, they'll eventually like respond to you. But Mike Tyson said that he's not up for fighting, but his son, who's also in his 20s, is down to fight Logan Paul. He has had a couple of fights himself, but Mike Tyson also had this to say. He's just like, dude, my son, man, just get a job. He doesn't want him like following in his dad's footsteps, you know? It's not a lifestyle, right? It's not a lifestyle that he wants his son getting into, but his son's totally down for it. And
just get a job. Don't go into boxing. You're gonna get hurt. Don't go into boxing. Just get a job.
Yeah. There's so much money, and it's weird, like, all these TikToker, YouTubers are transitioning into this thing and going with it.
I wish it would take on Mike Tyson.
Oh, same. He would get his ass handed to him.
But I don't want it to be an exhibition. I want it to be a legit
fight.
Boxing. I want someone to knock this fucker out.
Oh, same. I do, actually, with this fight coming up today, because this kid, he's actually a boxer and ground and pound UFC. Like, he's a legit kid. It doesn't feel like he's gonna be pulling any punches.
Yeah.
On Logan Paul, but I give it to him for having like a great work ethic when it comes to getting in the ring, and the kid's pretty strict with his diet and everything else. Yeah. But yeah, it kind of bugs me a little bit.
But the reason he does this. It's just for attention.
It is, yeah.
It's for the likes. It's for the comments. It's for his YouTube channel to get more attention to that. It's just that's why he's doing this.
Oh, absolutely. But it seems to be working, and that to me seems so damn weird. It's kind of like celebrities back in the day that were like TV stars, and then they transition into movies. This is going to be the new thing. TikTokers, YouTubers are going to be transitioning into the movies, which I don't know if I like that.
No.
Right?
No. Because it doesn't feel like they've really earned it. Like, I don't think Logan Paul has earned anything he has.
Really?
Like, he's made a career out of being a douchebag. Yeah.
And there's a shit ton of other douchebags in the world. I would have to disagree a little bit. I do think that...
Oh, you hear that, John?
No, I'm just saying, like, he is a tool, and I want to see his ass get beat to him, but I can appreciate, because we're all about the hustle as well, right? We've moved over to TikTok, and we've moved over to these other things, and we're constantly trying to, like, evolve and change, like, the podcast, and...
Yeah, but our motives are different.
Okay, how so?
His motives are he wants the fame, he wants the glory, he wants the money.
And you don't want fuck you money?
Well, that would be nice.
Right. That's not why you're going into it.
No, I do this stuff because
you're passionate about it, and this is a good outlet.
Yeah, I like to make stuff. I like to be creative. That's why I started this whole thing.
Right.
That's why I do YouTube videos. That's why I now do TikTok videos.
He's not doing it to create. He's just doing it for the likes and for the attention. Okay. Okay. I can see where you're coming from.
I do it because I like to make this stuff.
I can definitely appreciate him like seeing an opportunity and going with it. Right.
Sure. And if someone offered me $10 million to fight Floyd Mayweather, I'd do it.
In a fucking heartbeat. Yeah, absolutely.
I wouldn't train at all. I would do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And get my ass knocked out.
But have 10 million
and
bucks?
have $10 million.
Yeah. That was the other thing. I recently saw this thing where it was just like, hey, would you rather have like $20 million that you've earned or $100 million that was just given to you? And I was thinking about it for I was thinking it for a while. I'm like, yeah, I do think that's really cool. Like that you can say, yeah, I earned this money.
Yeah.
But at the same time, $100 million, then you could turn that into even more money.
Mm-hmm.
You could take that same drive that you would have taken to get that $20 million to get to take that $100 million and turn it into something more.
I'd be a great millionaire.
Yeah. Oh, same here. I honestly believe that I could do that. There's a lot of people that most people that win the lottery, they have it all spent within the first couple of years, and they're in as much debt, if not more debt, than they were before. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I could do it and do it well. Put it away.
If I have $100 million, yeah, most of it would be 90% of it. I'd probably put in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
The other 90, it'd be.
Oh well, okay, maybe not 90%, dude. I'd probably do about 70% in the bank because you're not going to get much. I would take about 20% of that and put it into stuff that's Roth IRAs and other stuff that are going to or a high compounding. These accounts that
Fair
are
enough.
Yeah. Just let it grow that way. Because banks just take that money and they invest it and do stuff with it and then give you $20.
But I'd pay off my mom's house. I'd pay off her car.
Yeah.
I'd buy cars for my family and stuff.
Yeah. That was the other thing, that there was these football players that they were talking about their family, people coming out of the woodwork, and they're like, yeah, we're all moving to Florida. Yeah. We've made it. And he's like, you've done nothing. What the hell? Yeah.
So you did what now?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's exactly what would happen. Once people learn you have money, all of a sudden they're looking for handouts. You'd find out you had cousins that you never even met before. They're like, hey, could you loan me $20,000? Blah, blah, blah.
My phone recently cracked, which I'm really sad about. Actually, just yesterday.
Oh, that is sad.
Right? I know. I was like, oh, damn it. It's got that huge crack on it. But this is my list. I actually thought about this, given it a lot of thought. This is my $1 million each.
Really?
To who I'd give $1 million to.
I didn't see my name on there.
It is. It's there.
It's on there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm on there.
Right?
Oh, thank you. I was just down the bottom.
I was just going through everybody else. Obviously, I had to put my family and stuff on there. There was no rhyme or reason to it, but I was just like, oh, I'll give this person $1 million. But what I would do is actually only give them $10,000 a month, or just a little bit under 10,000, $9,999, because then it wouldn't get taxed. So then you'd get basically $10,000 a month for quite a few years.
$10,000 a month? That'd be awesome.
Right? Just knowing that that's coming in until you get until it reaches $1 million.
That's $120,000 a year.
Right.
Free that you're getting.
Yeah.
I would.
So then it would be, I guess it would be 8, 9 years? Yeah. Something about that?
I would quit my job and just sit and collect checks.
Yeah.
That's what I'd do.
Well, you do other stuff, pursue other passions and stuff. I think you'd probably move to California and start voice acting.
Probably. Yeah. Or if I had the money, I could just stay here.
Yeah.
And just commute back and forth.
Yes.
And then once I gained fame as a voice actor, I wouldn't have to commute anymore. I could just turn a little garage or something to a studio.
Right.
Just do it from home.
Yeah. I did see when I was out in California, this dude had his whole studio set up outside, and he had his computer, and it was quite a setup.
Yeah.
Yeah, just out in his garage. Everybody's doing that.
All right. So, for those of you, if you're like me, if you're still playing Pokemon Go, for those 15 of us out there, there were some changes that were implemented during the pandemic. that made it easier to play Pokemon Go. There was, let me see. Okay. Well, yeah, they're making these changes permanent. So, players need only to be physically within 80 meters of the real world gym or Pokestop location. This is double the original distance of 40 meters. And the pandemic change made a huge difference in how players confined to their homes could experience the game. So they are keeping these changes to kind of... They did that for kind of social distancing. Plus, they made this a pass to a raid that if you got it, you could join any raid. You didn't have to be close to it.
Okay.
You could do that. And so, yeah, they're making these changes permanent now. Which, like I said, I've been playing it, and I've actually been enjoying it.
What level are you at now?
27? Because they've added a lot more Pokemon, which is one of my complaints, or has been one of my complaints. I'm 29. Even better than I thought.
Dang.
Yeah, I'm level 29.
I do like those additions, and I do feel like they have to, like, you know, evolve.
So to speak, yeah.
Yeah. So, no, I'm totally for that. I still just want to be able to walk down the street and just randomly fight somebody.
I know.
That's the one thing I want.
They haven't added that yet.
I would totally, like, you know, I think my name was like Frogger or something or other.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would totally open up my account again.
The closest you can get to that is you can, if you see that one of your friends are online,
yeah,
you can battle them.
Okay.
But that's the closest you're gonna, like, you can't battle strangers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're walking through the grass and all of a sudden you see a random person and you're like, oh,
yeah,
well, let's battle to the death. One other story I've got here is, and this might be the straw that broke the Peacock's back. I don't know.
Okay. I'm with you.
Harry Potter is now streaming and available on Peacock. And that's a really good get for Peacock.
Yes, it is.
As far as like commodities and binge-worthy shows and movies, this is definitely high up on the list. And I looked through all the stuff. I'm probably gonna end up getting Peacock today. Yeah. With all the content and everything that they have.
Well, I mean, they have all the Harry Potter movies. They have The Office.
Mm-hmm.
They have a bunch of other stuff.
Nickelodeon stuff.
NFL.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you're all about.
Oh, I have another app for that.
Oh, we talked about that last
yeah. Watched all the games on it.
I'm surprised they have Harry Potter, because Harry Potter is a Warner Brothers property.
Right.
And NBC is a Universal property. It's NBC Universal, so...
Why didn't they get them? Yeah.
Although Harry Potter is at Harry Potter World is at Universal Studios. So maybe there's a little bit of a partnership there. I don't know.
Okay. It always, like... I always find it interesting who gets what things, because it's like, oh, that would lend itself well. That'd be a good, like, Hulu exclusive. Or, oh, that'd be a good one to have, like, on this different streaming service. And then, like, when this random, out of nowhere, what was it? HBO Max got Friends, right?
Yeah.
That was a big get for them.
Yes.
I'm sure they put up, like, a shit ton of money for it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also makes me wonder how long they have it for, the rights for. If they just, like, basically lease these products or lease these TV shows or movies for a couple of years.
I would imagine.
Right? And how come we're not, like, they don't let us know how long it's going to be on there? Is that because they're worried that people will be like, oh, I don't want to watch it, you know, I don't want this service anymore?
Or maybe it'd be like, okay, well, we have it until
2025 or something.
2025, and
Yeah.
somebody signs up like January of 2025, and they only have, few months before all those movies go away. It's like, well, it's almost not even worth it.
Yeah, and they do have a section. I think it's on like Netflix and Hulu. Ones that are going to be leaving soon.
Yeah.
Any of the ones that you have in your queue that are going to be leaving soon, they kind of like notify you and say like, hey, you got like a month before this is up.
Yeah.
So it's not until you've actually signed up for the service that then you can know when it's going to be cut.
Right.
But you're only given like a month's time, and not like, hey, you got like 2 years.
Okay. Well, I've really been enjoying Paramount Plus, so
Yeah.
But then again, like we were saying last week, you got Disney Plus, you got HBO Max, you got Netflix, you got Hulu, you got Amazon Prime. Now you have Peacock,
Showtime.
Yeah.
There's so much content out there.
Yeah,
it's easy to get lost.
Yeah, you have to literally get like 10 different streaming services in order to see everything.
Mm-hmm. Or know a friend and then like use theirs and yeah.
Now the only one I'm not paying for is Disney Plus.
Okay.
Actually HBO. I'm getting both of those from the GF.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a quid pro quo where she gets your Netflix or your?
She's on my Netflix.
Okay.
Yes.
I do that. Like I have a couple other like people that I'll like let use my other accounts because I feel like I'm not getting my money's worth unless you have more people on it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Just to kind of get your full money's worth of it. But yeah, I recently just dropped back down with Netflix, just down to their only their cheapest one. It's like $8.
Yeah. That's what I'm on too.
Yeah.
Okay. One last story here, which is I've heard this story in a couple places, and it's ridiculous.
It is.
So the baby on the 1991 Nevermind album cover sues Nirvana, claiming child sexual exploitation. Now, this is ridiculous for a couple of reasons.
Yeah.
One, that was 30 years ago.
Right. And this kid has recreated that photo at least, a dozen times.
That's number two. He's cashed in on this.
Oh, absolutely. He's even got tattooed across his chest, Nevermind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The album cover on his chest and recreated this photo.
Like, you know how many girls he's probably said, hey, see that cover? It's me.
Yeah. Yeah.
My penis is a lot bigger than want to see it.
And then they did add the money after the fact. That was photoshopped in after.
Right.
Right.
And it's
does he have a point on the pornographic side of things?
No. It's just a naked baby.
Right. We see those on Facebook all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do typically try to cover up some of the parts, some of the bits.
Yeah, but I think when it's a baby, it's a lot different.
Right.
Than if you're seeing a full-grown adult nude.
I don't go out of my way.
Yeah. And I don't think it's exploitation. It was just... the reason for the cover was, like, as soon as we're born, we're automatically chasing the dollar.
Right. Yeah.
Which is funny, because that's now what he's doing.
He's chasing the dollar still, 30 years later.
Yeah. This guy's name is Spencer Eldon. 30. The naked baby on the cover of Nirvana's album Nevermind is suing.
That's their strongest point, is they're trying to claim that, like, hey, this looks like they're paying for the baby to, for sexual favors and other stuff. And that's kind of a weak point when it comes to this.
It is. And even if they have any sort of case, I'm sure
to it.
The statute of limitations is long gone.
Right.
So, yeah. Plus, also, like you said, he has the tattoo. He's
cashed in on this.
He's cashed on it before. Like, no, this is going to get thrown out. I almost guarantee it.
Yeah. They're not settling outside of it. And that is actually one of the greatest albums. Like, if you've listened to it in its entirety, like, it was a game changer as far as music goes. Yeah.
But I don't think people even in this day and age even remember the album cover.
No. Yeah.
Like, outside of like the Beatles, I can't really remember any particular album cover from any band. Except for maybe Weezer, because they were just colors.
Green, blue, yeah.
So that was a bit easier, but yeah, there's not really any that really stick out of my mind.
No, not really.
No. You just don't think of album covers nowadays. That's just not that's not a thing really anymore.
It is a little bit with the vinyls making a comeback.
That's true.
And there are some collectors and some other like kids that are getting into that. Like even like the 45s are making a comeback.
Yeah.
But
I don't understand, but whatever. That's right. I did see. Speaking of that, I was just at Entertainment.
Yeah.
And they have the new Lorde album, and apparently she's nude from the waist down, and the camera is pointing up, and she's walking over. But it's positioned in a way where the glare covers a little bit. I think you see her ass.
Okay.
But yeah, and Entertainment had like a sticker right there, so you couldn't see it. It was funny. But
think they'll do that with this Nevermind album as well, probably.
I don't even see it anywhere anymore.
No, I haven't seen it either. And you can pretty much just get most of the songs just on YouTube, anyways.
Yeah. So really, what we're saying is, Spencer Eldon, go fuck yourself. All right.
Let's get to our Revs and Recs.
Yes.
I have got one recommendation, and this is a show that I just barely finished. Like, I'd watched, so for those that aren't aware, have you heard of FullMetal Alchemist?
Yes.
Okay. It has been praised as one of the best anime shows. Like, it was on the top of like everybody's list for like years. I don't think anything has trumped it quite yet, but what they did, they originally had like the FullMetal Alchemist TV show, and it was airing, and it kind of pulled a Game of Thrones where it surpassed the manga. So then it had to kind of like randomly come up with its own shit.
Right.
So it goes off on a random tangent. But FullMetal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is the one that I watched, and this is the first time that I've watched it from beginning to end, and there's 60... it has subbed and dubbed, but there's 64 episodes that you can watch all on Hulu. And I think it is also available on Netflix as well. But this is, let's see, brothers Edward and Alphonse Elric search for the Philosopher's Stone, hoping to restore their bodies, which were lost when they attempted to use their alchemy, which is their, it's kind of like magic, but it's like they'll put down a symbol or some sort of a sign on the ground and then use that to, I mean, it makes sense.
Well, alchemy is kind of like, isn't it more like potions and metals and stuff, or am I crazy?
It is a little bit like with, it's contorting, and they typically, they draw it from the earth and from other things.
Right.
But it's creating, like, it's equivalent exchange, where you're not creating something brand new, you're just taking from something and turning it into something else.
Right, okay.
It's manipulating things that already exist. You're not, like, creating something completely brand new.
Like turning, like, lead into gold. And...
Right. Or just, like, moving up the ground. Yeah. But anyway, okay. So, alchemy skills to restore their deceased mother. So, right off the bat, from the beginning, what happens is you've got Al, who... it's equivalent exchange, so he loses his body, and his brother, Edward, who's the older brother, loses his leg in an attempt to bring back their mom.
Mm-hmm.
And then, in a last-ditch effort to bring his brother back, he bonds his soul. He makes, like, this little, out of blood, he makes this little, like, symbol on the back of this, on the back of this suit of armor that was laying there, and brings his brother's soul back, bonds his soul to that item. It's really kind of a fascinating story, and I love with the Brotherhood, it's called the homunculi. These basically created people that aren't like there's wrath, envy, sloth, pretty much all the deadly sins that they're fighting, but they're trying to find this Philosopher's Stone because that could potentially bring back their bodies as well as their mother. And that's kind of like their pursuit. Edward does join the military so that he has more access to more information and to other libraries that he wouldn't normally have hands on. So he's got to do the military's work. He's a dog of the military is what they say. There is a little bit of a cheesy aspect to it, and it was a little more difficult for me to watch some parts because I hate when animes, they go, wah, wah, and get like all whiny.
Yeah.
That kind of bugs me. But there's not enough of that in there that it was off-putting. And the animation and the fights and some of these things are fascinating and fantastic. And out of 5 Philosopher's Stones, I'm giving this one like a 4. It's definitely worth a watch if you're into anime at all.
I can't do it.
No?
I have tried so hard to get into anime.
To any anime at all?
And I just can't do it.
Really?
There's just something. I don't know if it's the animation style. I don't know if it's the voice acting. I don't know.
But you liked Goku and Pokemon back in the day, right? Or,
No.
excuse me, Dragon Ball Z? No?
Nope.
Okay. My brothers and I watched the hell out of that.
You'd think Dragon Ball Z would be a show I'd like, but
Yeah.
no.
Okay. Sword Art Online?
Mm-mm.
No.
I cannot get into it. Any of it.
Okay.
The closest thing I've come is to playing Pokemon Go on my phone. That's it.
Yeah.
And I've tried.
Studio Ghibli movies?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
I've seen a lot of those, and they're
fine?
They're fine.
The thing that I love about those movies is you can pause it at any moment, and it looks like a piece of art.
Yeah, look, I can appreciate the art.
Yeah.
The art style and the art process. I can appreciate
different than your own, but yeah.
But that's about the only thing I can appreciate. I don't know. It just something about it just rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
Plus, it doesn't help that the X was really into anime.
Really? Yeah. So that kind of pushes you away.
Yeah, kind of soiled me. So there was something that we've both seen that we want to talk about, and that is this What If series that's on Disney Plus right now.
Right.
Which is basically, it's based on a series of Marvel comics that they do periodically. Was like, what if, Doctor Strange got hit by gamma rays instead of Bruce Banner, or, what if Wolverine was the head of S.H.I.E.L.D., or stuff like that.
Right.
So there are 3 episodes out right now at the time of recording this.
Halfway through the season.
Mm-hmm. And I guess we'll just kind of break them down episode by episode. And give people our thoughts on it. So the first one was a what if on Captain America.
Right. What if Peggy Carter was actually the Captain America? Well, like more of a British soldier.
Yeah. They called her Captain Carter.
Right.
But there's a character in Marvel Comics called Captain Britain. So I thought they would have called her that, but whatever.
Captain Carter does sound catchier, though.
It does.
Yeah.
It's got that alliteration that helps it.
Right.
I had been kind of dragging my feet on this.
Same.
Because I thought...
And there was already 2 episodes out by the time I watched the first.
And, like, the live-action stuff has been so good, and I'm like, okay. But people kept praising Captain Carter left and right. So I'm like, all right, I'll watch it. Yeah, it's good.
No, it's
really good.
Yes.
What I like about it, I didn't realize that they basically go through the movie Captain America like hit kind of the big points,
right,
but plug her into it. And that was kind of interesting. I also thought it was interesting. Okay, because here's what happens. So you see that it's like how Captain America went. You got Steve Rogers there. He's going to be put into the machine. But what happens is, instead of Peggy going upstairs and watching from up there, she stays down.
Yeah, next to everything. And
sees the German guy that has set the explosion, tries to stop him. A bunch of people get killed. And Steve Rogers gets shot, which was a shock.
Same, yeah. I was not expecting that.
Because he hopped out of the machine, rushes over the guy, and the guy shoots him. I thought, did they just kill off Steve Rogers? No, they didn't. At least not in that one. It's not in that one.
Yeah. So she quickly,
she hops in.
with no hesitation, jumps in there and says, "It's like, we need somebody. We need something now. This is our, because Stark's up there saying, like, hey, if we don't do it now, we're not going to get a chance at this." So she jumps in and gets jacked as all hell.
She gets jacked. And then the story kind of goes off from there, her taking the role of Captain America.
She doesn't go through the whole fanfare so much where she has to go from soldier camp to a camp.
Yeah, she's not doing the USO tour.
No.
Like Steve did. They just kind of throw her into it. And
at first they were really tentative to even include her in anything.
Well, because she's a woman.
Exactly.
Women can't be involved in wars.
Woman can't.
Woman can't be fight. How woman can do fight? But what I really like about this is the animation style is crazy. Like, I can't tell if it's hand drawn or CGI.
Yeah.
I think it might be both.
It wasn't up until okay. So the third one, which we'll talk about, it kind of looks like straight off the comics, but I'm not digging the animation style as much. Yeah,
I'm liking it because it seems like they've incorporated everything. Like, they've incorporated motion capture and hand-drawn animation plus CGI.
Right.
I think. I don't know.
Plus they got everybody back for this.
Yeah.
The voice acting, it's the same people.
Except for the really big stars.
Right.
Like, Robert Downey Jr. is not there.
No.
Chris Evans isn't there. Because I looked at cast lists every time. Who else isn't there? Star-Lord, Chris
Evans?
No, that's Captain America.
Chris... Not Hemsworth.
The heck is his name?
Chris Pratt. Boom.
He's not there. I don't think Hemsworth is there either.
No.
But everybody else is.
Yeah.
Oh, Scarlett Johansson. She's not there. Yeah. But, pretty much everybody else is.
Yes.
So you got Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury.
Oh, it wouldn't be the same if it wasn't his voice. Yeah.
You got Haley Atwell as Peggy Carter. You got Jeremy
Chadwick.
Renner. Yep, Chadwick Boseman.
Yes.
It's Black Panther. Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye. Tom Hiddleston as Loki. So 90% of the cast is there.
Right.
Which I thought was cool. Mark Ruffalo is back as the Hulk. And I thought that was one of the cooler aspects because it really, because you know these characters and you know their voices, and so to hear that you're like, okay, you immediately associate it with the MCU.
You do, yeah. And it felt like it was part of this world, right? It didn't seem too far out of place, and I'm really kind of digging the whole Watcher.
Yeah,
right. I'm I loved how this was more so in the second and third one, but you kind of see him in the background, right? He's just watching over all this shit take place. What if this were to happen?
So that's the first episode. Peggy being Captain Carter. And like I said, they pretty much go through the movie except at the very end when there's a massive spoilers. Okay, where there's a massive octopus that attacks at the end.
Right.
Which is very 1940s, so...
Yeah. I also liked that they gave Steve Rogers, because I feel like he would still be a big part of incorporating. You know what I mean? He wouldn't just sit on the sidelines. He's just like, no, my buddy's out there fighting. Like, I'm gonna fucking be a part of this.
He basically became the first Iron Man.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. I guess Howard Stark created that suit for him. He's like a big clunky 1940s looking Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice.
And they still had that spark, even though she's like way bigger than him now. Yeah. She's like, I can pick you up and do whatever I want with you.
It's
You're
like
my
a
bitch.
Full-grown adult and an infant or a toddler. Like, that's the size difference.
Yeah.
Man.
But that chemistry still works.
Man, if they had sex, like, she would just dominate him.
He'd have to wear that suit.
Yeah, he would.
To be on her level.
Or he'd have to climb her like a tree.
Yeah. He's like, worth the climb.
Totally worth
it. He's like doing that flagpole scene all over again, but just with her. Timber.
So that's the first episode. Second episode, we got What If
T'Challa becomes Star-Lord.
Yes. I thought this episode was really fun because you got to see what Star-Lord would have been if he was a good leader.
Right. Yeah.
If he wasn't such a fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was cool because you saw T'Challa's leadership
really shine.
Yeah.
Like
he was even able to recruit Thanos.
Right. Which I thought that was like crazy cool. Yeah. I
and it was Josh Brolin who was doing the voice.
Right.
So you see that, like I said, T'Challa becomes Star-Lord, and he has to.
They have to infiltrate the Collector. The Collector's the big bad. He's basically Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well, something happened to him where he became basically the kingpin of space crime.
Right.
And he got really jacked. And so they have to go fight him. Why do they have to go fight him?
Because they're trying to get that one item that creates like a ton of food for the galaxy, basically.
That's right.
They're basically Robin Hood, you know?
Right. Yep.
Steal from the rich to give to the poor.
Yeah. I like that too. I like that one because it was a very much a
good send-off?
Yeah. It was a good send-off for Chadwick. That was probably one of the last things he did, I would imagine.
I think it was.
It was a good send-off for him. Plus, it had a lot of action in it.
It did.
Which I liked.
A couple of twists and turns, which I wasn't expecting at all.
Howard the Duck cameo. That was good.
Yeah.
Again, by Seth Green, who's been doing his voice every time he pops up. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's fun to see how these characters would interact with these other characters because their personality doesn't change.
Right.
T'Challa's personality didn't change. He became the leader.
Thanos still wants to snap everybody.
Yeah. Like he says throughout the episode, it's like, I still think that's a good idea.
Right. Yeah.
But now he sees, okay, this other cause is probably better. And yeah.
So I also liked about that episode is you get to see a lot of other characters in different roles, like you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
like I think one of Thanos's children, quote unquote, Proxima Midnight. She was like working at the Collector's place. She was basically a secretary for him.
Yeah,
that was kind of fun. Oh no, she was a security guard.
Yes,
that's what it was.
She was head of security.
Yeah. Let's see.
And finally,
yeah,
you've got Nick Fury trying to recruit the Avengers, but somebody's taking him out.
Yeah.
Right.
Somebody's killing him.
Right. It was reminiscent of when Batman takes out the Justice League.
Yes.
Right? Kind of a deal where you're like, who the hell's taking these people out there? You know, and then once you actually get the big reveal, it's just like, oh, damn, that's dark.
Because the episode starts out basically in Iron Man 2.
Yes.
Where Iron Man's up there in the donut and he's eating donuts. Then they come down and start talking to him, and Nat puts the injection in to help the palladium that's infecting him. And he just ends up straight up dying.
Yes. I was not expecting that.
It.
No.
Yeah.
Same with the Hulk. I wasn't expecting that shit.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that just got dark.
Yeah, the Hulk fucking blew up.
Yes.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
So
Even Hawkeye's getting put in prison. You know, these other guys, they're getting like shut down.
Mm-hmm. Thor gets taken out by one of Hawkeye's arrows. He gets the blame for it, so even he gets killed.
Right.
When he's sitting in prison.
Everybody's dying left and right. All these Avengers are dying. Yeah.
Like the only one who survives is Nick Fury.
And Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And I guess Captain America too, because he saw him at the end with the ship.
Right.
Yeah,
he went to go recruit him.
Saw the shield.
Which only makes me want more of that, like, that universe.
Mm-hmm.
It
was oddly kind of morbidly fun to see the Avengers die.
It was. Yeah. How you could actually, kill them.
How you could take them out.
Right.
Like, the only way you could take out Thor at that time was because he didn't have his powers.
No.
He's still a huge dude, but he didn't have his god power, so, an arrow to the heart's going to take him out.
Right. Even seeing Loki was kind of cool.
Yeah.
In a different role. Like, he seemed more diplomatic.
He did.
Right? Yeah. He wanted to kill and freeze everybody, but at the same time, he was just like, all right, I'll give you a little time, Okay, I can, if it helps me get to my goal here, then I can kind of help you out.
Yeah. Which it did. Look like at the end, he, took over.
He did. Yeah.
Basically, took over the government. I thought that was interesting.
I thought for sure you're going to see President Loki.
I thought so, too.
I was thinking that when I was watching that episode.
Maybe that would be episode 4 or something.
Yeah.
Or 5 or 6. But it's if you're not watching it, I highly suggest it, because this has been a really fun show.
In each, episode is only, a half an hour.
Yeah. Really digestible, a lot of fun to watch. Each episode's just full of action, and
you get to see these characters back in completely different roles.
Mm-hmm. It's like the best parts of the MCU movies all boiled down into one thing.
Yes.
The best parts were always the big fight scenes and the big action scenes and
right. Less talking, more fighting.
Yeah. And the cool costume reveals, and that's what these episodes are, and it's a lot of fun.
They've definitely taken their time and actually put a lot of thought into this.
Yes.
I don't know how true they are to the comics, but I'm a fan of them. It'll be interesting to see what they do with the next 3 episodes, because to me this did you watch that Death, Love, and Robots yet? They've got 2 seasons out.
No.
On Netflix, you'll have to check it out for sure. But it's really reminiscent of that, where each episode is kind of standalone, completely different. And some of these ones, you're like, I would love to see more of this universe.
Mm-hmm. So out of the 3, which one would you like to see a full movie of?
I was really digging Star-Lord. Right? I'd like to see them go on some other really crazy, interesting adventures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like that one too. I probably have to agree, because that one, the other 2 episodes,
they
basically kind of
closed.
Yeah. It was kind of a one and done thing, but that one you could see continuing on and continuing on those adventures with that crew and those characters,
and maybe possibly Captain Carter would be kind of interesting, because she would be doing it overseas. It wouldn't be like Steve Rogers, where he gets into the government. You know, you wouldn't get a civil war, but it would be interesting to see what she does with Winter Soldier, and then.
Well, at the end, she does end up in modern times.
Right.
Just like Steve Rogers did.
Yeah. But those were kind of closed.
Yeah.
But there's still a couple of adventures in there.
So yeah, I think I agree with you. I think the Star-Lord episode so far would be the one that I'd love to see a full movie on.
Because then I feel like they could also incorporate the MCU, but expand it, because they're just look, this universe is so vast. Let's go explore it. Let's go Robin Hood this shit. And it would be really similar to Firefly, right? Where there'd be crazy, wacky adventures.
Yeah. I also liked how Star-Lord or T'Challa as Star-Lord became actually really famous.
Yes. Yeah.
Chris Pratt Star-Lord, he always wanted to be famous.
Right. He's like, maybe you've heard of me, you know, Star-Lord. Like, no, who the hell are you?
But this one, that guy was like, oh, Star-Llord.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such an honor. Oh, you want to fight? Okay.
Can I use my gun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be an honor to fight you. Yeah. I thought that was really funny.
Same.
So it's only been half, but overall, what would you, let's see, out of 5, I don't know.
Watchers? Yeah.
What would you give it so far? And then we'll go back after and kind of reanalyze.
Maybe the animation style will grow on me a little bit more, and I do like that obscure kind of stuff. And as long as, like, even with the indie games that I'll play, as long as the story's there, I'm still gonna watch it for sure. I think I'm sitting at like a 4.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm probably a little bit above where you. I think I'll probably give it a 4.5 because I like the animation.
Yeah.
More than you do. But
What's your criticism with it? Or where's your, like, why are you shying away from that 5?
I'm waiting to see what else they got.
Okay.
Basically.
Yeah.
The first 3 are really solid. And I guess the other reason would be, oddly enough, that they don't have, like, every cast member there.
Right.
You know? Which I wish they had.
Same.
But probably Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. are really expensive.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson.
They got that Disney money, dude. Like, they got a shit ton of money.
That's true. It is the same studio.
Yeah.
You're right about that. Yeah.
And it wouldn't be that difficult for them to record a couple of lines. It'd probably take them like 5 minutes.
I mean, if Josh Brolin can do it.
Oh, yeah.
And Benicio del Toro can do it, come back as a collector.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on.
You got 5 minutes to spare.
Come on, RDJ.
He's all sitting on the toilet, so it sounds like echoey.
Right.
As he's just like, yeah, I am Iron Man. Wow.
Be like, yeah, that's the best you're getting.
Yep, that's it. One and done, one take. Doesn't even do it again.
Yeah.
Kind of a deal.
You hear him taking a shit in the background.
I am Iron Man. All right.
Okay. Thanks. All right. I think that about wraps it up. Oh, what are we going to do for DLC?
Should we make it another surprise?
We talked about that. Yeah. We can do another surprise. That's fine. Okay. So here's where you can find us. You can listen to all of our episodes and listen to all of our extras at patreon.com/worldwarg, or you can just listen to the episodes themselves at worldwarg.podbean.com. We're also on the social medias. We're at facebook.com/worldwarg. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. Just put in World War G. You'll find us.
Yeah.
You can find our merchandise at tpublic.com. You can also email us anytime.
Day or night. Positive or negative.
Yes. At worldwargpod@gmail.com. Just like the GF did. So, this has been World War G. That has been AJ.
That has been Troy.
Stay geeky, my friends. Or, if we were doing What If, maybe I would say an alternate timeline. Stay nerdy, my friends. Or, stay awesome, my friends. Or, stay cool, my friends. Or, live long and prosper, my friends. Or, may the force be with you, my friends. Or, stay thirsty, my friends.
Or, no.
Or, no, that's it. That's all I got.